The snow collapses. Suddenly, you are in free fall, plunging into a black shaft of ice. Then, a violent jerk. The rope stops. You are dangling 150 feet above a black void. Your entire life is suspended by a single harness rope cutting into your waist. You are starving, you are alone, and you are over 100 miles from the nearest human being. Exploration has ended. From this point on, every second is a primal struggle between a dying body and the physical laws of the ice. Weeks earlier, Australian explorer Douglas Mawson had two companions in a pack of sledge dogs. They pushed 300 miles into the unknown, mapping territory no human had ever seen. Then, the ice took Belgrave Ninnis. He broke through a hidden snow lid, vanishing into a crevasse along with their strongest dogs and the majority of their food. To stay alive, Mawson and his remaining partner, Xavier Mertz, ate their surviving dogs. They didn't know the huskies' livers contained lethal levels of vitamin A. The poison destroyed Mertz first. He grew sick, then delirious, and finally died in the tent. Mawson was now isolated in the most hostile environment on Earth. He was carrying the same poison that killed his partner in his own veins. To move forward, Mawson had to shed every possible ounce of weight. He used a pocket knife to saw his heavy wooden sledge in half. But he couldn't stop the decay inside his own body. Starvation and liver poisoning were systematically dismantling his systems. His hair fell out in clumps. Large sheets of skin peeled away from his limbs. Then he felt a shifting inside his boots. He took them off to find the thick soles of his feet had completely detached from the flesh. He bound the detached soles back onto his raw feet with bandages and stood up. Preserving health was no longer the goal. Survival became the brutal necessity of forcing a dying body to take one more step. This was when the ice nearly claimed him. The snow bridge gave way, and Mawson fell, left dangling over the abyss. He had no calories left. His hands were frozen, and his feet were ruined. Mechanically, the climb was impossible. He climbed anyway. He spent hours hauling his dead weight up the rope, inch by inch, until he crawled out of the void. He spent the next 30 days dragging himself across the desolate ice in total silence. Willpower here was no abstract metaphor. It was the literal, excruciating physical force required to fight gravity when the body was broken. Mawson finally reached the coast, physically devastated but alive. He looked out to the horizon. There, he watched his rescue ships sailing away. After 30 days of solitary torment, he had missed his salvation by a matter of hours. This was the ultimate psychological breaking point. The reward for his survival was being abandoned to the Antarctic winter. But he wasn't alone. 6 men had volunteered to stay behind and search for him. They found him outside this hut. Because the ship was gone, the men spent the next entire year trapped together in that small shack, waiting for the winter to pass. Mawson lived to become a celebrated explorer. This remains one of the greatest feats of survival in history. 3 men walked into the ice. Douglas Mawson was the one who walked out. He survived the total breakdown of his physical body through a single exhausting decision. He refused to stop walking.